What's up, guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 1989 Toyota TownAce. Under me is a 2.0 liter diesel inline 4, as well as a 5-speed manual transmission. Now, I am super excited to be driving this here TownAce for a couple of reasons, but mainly the fact that it's weird. It's interesting here in America. We didn't get these specifically, although we got a version I'll talk about later on. But also, this is a 5-speed manual on the tree. So not only is it right-hand drive, contrary to what I'm used to here in America, but also it's a 5-speed manual, shifting with my left hand on the tree. Very, very weird. But before we get on to anything else, I have a website, ZachPradel.com, where you can buy stickers like this retro sticker pack or big friggin' bottle sticker and other merch when it becomes available. You could also submit your own vehicle to be reviewed by me through a quick and easy submission form, and you can get a video of your car just like this one. And you could read my behind the scenes blog to see what I'm filming before it comes out on the channel. But let's get back to that 2-liter diesel underneath me. Well, it's known as the 2C. Now, this is not the turbo version. That would be the 2CT, and it makes about 73 horsepower. So this is not a speed demon, but the TownAce, along with the HiAce, were these super customizable, super utilitarian vehicles from Toyota. You could get it as a van, you could get it as a truck, you could get it as a flatbed, you could get it all these sort of things. So they threw a motor in there that they knew was going to be reliable and be able to take that grunt. Like I said, paired to it, 5-speed manual on the tree. So strange to be driving. The shifter feels amazing and does the job exactly how I want it to do. But it's weird because first gear is towards you and up, then second gear is straight down. Contrary to like 3-speed on the tree cars here in America, it was towards you and down for first gear. So I've already once started this truck in second gear thinking it was first. Now, you might be wondering, is there a lockout? And yes, there is. For fifth gear and reverse, you do have to push extra hard towards the dashboard, and that will allow you to enter into fifth gear or reverse. So driving 5 speeds on the tree, it's one of the most amount of gears I've ever heard of shifted on a tree column. Last but not least about this here TownAce, it is 4-wheel drive, and we have some selections for that we'll talk about with the interior. But let's talk about the interior. In front of me, I have a couple of gauges. On the left is my speed. Then on the right, I get my fuel and temperature. That's it. That's all I got. The steering wheel does say TownAce, which I love, and it does have the horn. However, this is 1989. This is pre-airbag, so you won't find that on the steering wheel. Off to the right, I do have my 4-wheel drive button, as well as a little tiny, little miniature vent. It's almost hilariously small. And on the door, I just have my latch get in and out and my crank for the windows. Moving into the center, I do have what a lot of cars would have, some type of information center. This is just cubbies, or blocked off or locked things. But moving on to the dashboard itself, I do have a very simple radio, as well as 2 also adorably tiny air conditioning vents. Then I have my climate controls themselves. This is still run off an R12 system, which is fantastic. It is blowing ice cold here today. If you want to learn more about R12 and why it went away, I do have a mini documentary about it as well that I will leave up on the screen in one of those little card things. More storage off to the left, and then I have my cigarette lighter, ashtray, and choke. So I do actually have a choke for the vehicle. I guess the little 2-liter diesel needs it. Then I don't have any sort of center console here. However, I do have the 4-wheel drive settings. You have to hit the 4-wheel drive button off to the far right of the steering wheel. Then you can shift it into 4 high or 4 low. Kind of interesting there. And then I get the parking brake as well. Then I do have the seats. The seats are nice and comfortable. They're very cushy, and they are blue. This sort of Toyota 90s blue that I've come to know and love in a lot of their models. I think the interior has held up really, really well. I think it looks good and functions properly, which is what I would want out of a utility vehicle like this in the TownAce. However, I do have a center console that folds down. I can either use it as a bench seat or as a center console. And that does have 2 tiny cup holders at the back, so we will do a big friggin' bottle test here in the 1989 Toyota TownAce. And unfortunately, it does not pass the big friggin' bottle test. But now let's hop around back and let's talk about the bed. All right, so we're on the back of the 1989 Toyota TownAce, and I wanted to start off on the side here because this is actually a storage compartment for the TownAce. You can just put other little knickknacks and things in there, which is pretty cool. But this is the overall bed. I'll get a little bit of a walking shot here. And something really cool is that you can actually go around here, pull this down. Oh, didn't do it right over here. There you go. You got to flip that down, and then this whole side comes down. So you can do that with all three corners of the TownAce to then make it into a flatbed. Now, K-Trucks do this as well, which is really cool, but K-Trucks are so small that they have to put the engine back here. The Subaru Sandbar has it back here, but the Honda Acti has it right in the center right there. So because this truck is bigger, the engine is up under the cab, you don't have that. So you can fill this truck up without worrying if something happens to your engine. You just have to worry about up there, not back here, which is super nice. And like I said, all three corners do go down, so you could use this as a flatbed, which is super, super unique to Japanese trucks. I don't know why this stuff never picked up here in the United States. This is a fantastic idea, and yet we're missing out on it. Kind of sucky. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and I love the TownAce because it looks like a K-truck that has really kept up with its protein intake. It looks big and bulky compared to K-trucks, which I know K-trucks are actually just the smaller version of this, but to me, I've driven so many K-trucks. This is kind of my first full-size Japanese truck that I've driven, so that is really, really cool, and I think overall it looks cool. However, you might slightly notice that front end here in America. Well, that's because in the 1980s, we got something called the Toyota van. A vehicle I have not reviewed. However, if you have one, please reach out to me with the information up on the screen. So while we didn't get the TownAce, we actually got something that kind of shared a platform, which is pretty neat. But now let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving a 1989 Toyota TownAce? Well, I think this is an incredibly cool and unique experience, especially here in America. In Japan, this is just a utility vehicle that a company might buy. But here it's so cool to be driving on the right-hand side, to be shifting with my left hand on the column. It's a very interesting experience. But this just goes to show Toyota makes so many more cars than we think here in America. We think of the Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Highlander, Sequoia, Land Cruiser, Tacoma, Tundra. That's a lot of cars, but overseas, Toyota makes so much more. Have you ever heard of a Toyota Caldina? A Toyota Crown, which you will here in the US soon. Toyota Coronas? There's so many cars that Toyota makes, and this is one of them. And not only that, there's so many variants of this. I've reviewed a Hiace, which I'll leave at the end of this video, and that's a luxury van from the same era as this. I mean, how cool is that? Toyota puts Baskin-Robbins to shame in the amount of things that they offer. I mean, just the sheer number of cars that they've offered in the last 30 years is mind-boggling. And I didn't even mention the Celica or Supra or FRS, BRZ, or any of Scion's lineup. I mean, they make so many dang flippin' cars. So to me, it's really cool to be driving yet another one, and something with such awesome purpose. You know, this is a truck that you would buy for your business or buy because you need its capabilities. And capabilities, it certainly has. This is so cool, and it's so cool to me to have driven a 5-speed on the tree. What an awesome, awesome treat. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned about what this truck might be. Maybe you're from Japan or have lived in Japan and you know a lot about these. Or maybe you're an American like me and have never seen a TownAce in your whole life. Well, here you go. Let me know about that in the comments. But huge thank you to Steve for letting me take out his TownAce. This thing is so cool, so unique here on American streets. It's always exciting for me to get behind the wheel of something like this, and that is also thank you to Steve. I've reviewed 2 of his other vehicles in the last 2 videos, so if you're a fan of the channel, you'll see those. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.